acknowledge that we're on the homeland of the many diverse First Nations and Métis people who have walked this land since time immemorial. We are grateful to live, work, and learn on the traditional territory of Treaty 8. So with that, is there any additions or changes to the agenda meeting? Nothing from our CEO. Anybody else? Nothing. Anybody like to make a motion to adopt it? As presented. Okay. Councillor Tanaka, all in favor? Carried. Scheduled delegation is not here.
She might be a little bit late.
Might be a little bit late. Okay, we can come back around and fit her in when she does come in. And I guess, Richard, do you have anything as a public delegation? No. All right. So with that, then we'll move quickly on to our fire chief's report. Can I get a motion to get this started? Councillor Stenos.
I move that council receives the fire chief's October 2022 report for information.
Thank you. Then I'll turn it over to the chief.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a couple of highlights, I guess. The Remembrance Day ceremonies, if you managed to attend it, fire department, it wasn't just the town and county, there was some good showing with all members there. It was nice to see, to support the veterans and people that were associated with that. We also had the opportunity to fly our Canadian flag. I asked the Legion folks if we could do that, and they were extremely happy that I offered that out to them. And I didn't actually see what happened, but apparently there was a bunch of people outside taking pictures beside it. So that's really cool. I'm happy with that. That afternoon, we also had the opportunity to have a first responders game sponsored by, or actually organized by the Red Wings, but sponsored by a good majority of businesses in town, recognizing that the first responders they were going to support, and it involved everything from RCMP, Fish and Wildlife, Slave Lake Fire Department, county firefighters, town firefighters. So there was a good mix of people. We had 2 teams, and we played for 3 periods, and everybody had a great time. And a lot of people stuck around after the game as well to watch the Red Wings beat Edson. Thank you. So it was a great day. Just a couple other things that are also happening coming up. We've got the food bank drive. Been contacted by Tim Dumont. Food bank drive is kickoff is December 11th, and we will be having members out in force trying to encourage folks to donate to the food bank. So one thing that we've got. Outside of that, you can see some statistics that I've provided for the operational year, which is coming to an end. So basically, our operational year from December 1st to November 30th. When I did the report, the numbers there were accurate, so they will have changed a little bit with the calls that we had in between the point when I did this report and now, depending on what happens to the end of the month. And then that'll be our wrap up for the operational year. I submit my report to council, and if you've got any questions, fire away.
All right. Thank you for your report. Any questions? Councillor Tanaka.
It's got nothing to do with your report, but have you set up a date for your fire budget review?
We were just talking about that today, and it's pending.
Okay.
It's in the works.
Okay.
Trying to get that going. Okay.
All right. Anything else? Councillor Martins.
Well played, good game, and the better team won. Anyway,
Ouch.
I honestly didn't know which team we were on. It was 5 that won, so I didn't know. But I digress. Sorry, Trevor. I was going to ask about the gala attendance. I mean, you guys have a full house yet? Have tickets been sold? How's the planning for that
Our December 2nd event. So we have right now just over 100 people that have committed. So that's a good start. We are hoping to have, sold out, which is a maximum of 300 people. So we'll see how that goes.
I think you ought to encourage council to attend.
Absolutely.
National.
Come and see me for tickets. Thank you.
Anything else? I had a couple of questions. I was just curious about some of the numbers I noticed were way up on, like the motor vehicle collisions there.
Statistics?
Statistic wise,
Okay.
yeah. Why such a big jump in a year? Just a bad year or just something else happened?
Drivers.
It's just getting worse and worse by the year.
I can't say that. A lot of them, I think, have also been animal hits, animal strikes. I'm just going off the top of my head. We've been going to a lot of animal strikes, so wildlife is not obeying the deer crossing signs.
Or wearing their safety.
That too.
And I noticed town alarms is way up and that's mostly false alarms.
Mostly false alarms, yeah. So just, I guess, an information wise, when we record monitored alarms, what happens, and I found this out just like this year, what happens is a monitoring company will receive the call, they will call dispatch. And the procedure that dispatch follows is they dispatch us first before they actually phone the homeowner. Apparently the monitoring companies aren't the one that are contacting, it's the dispatch company that's trying to contact. So we get dispatched right off of the bat. Dispatch tries to get a hold of the homeowners, and if they're successful, then they will stand us down. If they are not successful, then we arrive on scene. So sometimes dispatch will get a hold of the homeowner, will call us back and say stand down, but that's still recorded as a statistic. And sometimes we don't get stood down and we'll actually arrive on scene.
Yeah, it's just probably the increase is due to more people getting alarm systems likely.
That is it, yeah. And I've said before, it is actually surprising that a good majority of the monitored alarms that are false, in the sense that there's no calls, they aren't repeat offenders, if you want to call it something. They're typically just one-offs, and I will try and touch base with them and say, or my 30 officers that's attending scene will say, like, you got one free one, this is one free one within 6 months. So they are usually advised that they do have one free within 6 months. And that, again, has a tendency to solve the issue or problem, possibly.
All right. And that was a very impressive flag in there. That was very good. That was great to set that up. Go ahead, Councillor Winkle.
How much of a pain in the butt would it be to break that out, the false alarms that there's nothing there where the dispatch, what am I trying to say here? The ones where you get dispatched, but it's nothing, and they call you back, or could that be broken out at all? Yeah, this one is way out to lunch there. I'm probably not articulating what I mean very well.
To identify which ones are stood down and which ones we've actually responded to.
Yeah,
That's sort of what you're asking.
yeah.
I could do that, but then my spreadsheet starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller, so.
It's fine.
I could answer that question. If you want to come and see me in the office, I can tell you in a heartbeat exactly what that would be.
Or maybe at once a year, at the end of the year sort of thing, just to say, not with your monthly report and that, but at the end of the year, say, well, we were this, but this amount was
Stood down.
Yeah. Because it is a statistical anomaly there, Right.
And that is the reason why we've gone to duty officer position instead of having an prior to going to the duty officer, we would get monitored land calls. And there would be one or two people showing up anyhow. Because people would look at the pages and they'd say, oh, it's monitored alarm, and roll over and go back to sleep.
The hospital.
The hospital, et cetera, you've experienced that, right? So that's the reason why we went to duty officer, and we seem to have better success at having that than having an all-out, response and only a few people showing up, so.
I'll swing by one day and take a look at it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. That's it, that's all.
All right, any other questions for our chief? Okay, I don't see any more. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We had the motion to receive this report for information. All in favor?
Thank you, might be frozen.
Oh, John, did you freeze? Huh? Yeah, he's frozen there, looking for his hand, and I didn't see it. Oh, you're back. Did you vote on that one? I did. Okay, you were in favor, okay. Yeah. You froze up when I was looking to see if you had your hand up, so. All right, so moving on then to our minutes. Starting off with our organizational meeting on October 24th. Can I get a motion on this one? Councillor Waco,
Move that we accept as presented.
right? Any changes needed? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Moving on then to the councillor appointments. Oh, sorry, the October 24th regular meeting. Get a motion for that one? Councillor Martins?
I move that council approve the October 24th, 2023 regular meeting of council minutes as presented.
All right. Any changes needed for this, for these minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Is there any business coming out of those minutes? All right, seeing none, go to new business, which is 8.1, the GBOT write-offs. The motion on this one? Oh, Councillor Danaka?
I make a motion that the balance as detailed in appendix 1, 2023 GPOT outstanding balances totaling $62,759.02 be written off.
All right, thank you for that. And I know there's an explanation in there, but perhaps I don't remember doing this in the past. I wonder why we're doing it this year, just to be clear.
There was, through the chair again, through the mayor, there was a report before council last year. It was buried within the final year-end variance report, so part of that report. But as detailed in the report, the assessment roll comes with the properties assessed at full value, and then the province says, well, we're not paying. So the write-off accounts, council has to approve any write-off of accounts. It will be, it is budgeted for, but we need a resolution of council to strike it from the rolls. And as the report indicates, this is just one of many areas the province has rescinded funding or downloaded cost to municipalities. And as you can see, $62,000, that represents approximately 1.6 tax rate implication. So all the other ratepayers in town are basically picking up what the province isn't picking up in the case of the GPOT, and it is a significant amount. Just for council's information, of those roll numbers, the three big ones are the provincial building, the courthouse, and the youth assessment center. and the rest are various parking lots that are attached to those facilities, but that is not, we do not receive GPOT on hospitals. They're exempt, period. These other properties aren't. Again, the hospitals and places of worship and other quasi institutions like that are exempt on the tax roll, so they're not billed in the first place.
All right, thank you for that. Any other questions on this? Councillor Waco?
Just a comment, this is crap, that the government isn't paying their taxes. They increase the amount of stuff that, they download onto us, and now they're not paying their taxes. And I said this last year, and I said it the year before, and I'll say it for as long as I'm on council, this is crap, I get it, we have to do it, but, who else gets to just not pay their effing taxes? Pisses me off. I'd like to let the government know that.
Yeah, and we have, when we've met with them in the past, but you know where that.
Yeah, they go,
Yeah, thanks for that.
yeah, thanks, but,
It's not changing.
and it's like, who the hell do they think they are? We're not gonna pay our taxes. If you and I don't pay our taxes, they come after us. I'd love to send a collection agency after them.
All right. All right, go ahead.
But we do get grants from the government in lieu of their taxes.
Not the full amount.
No,
We used to get the full amount. Now they're only giving us half. How long until they cut it again? Right? Oh, yeah, we're the government. Yeah, we're exempt.
For council's information, similar if there was federal properties in town, federal government is paying 100% of their payments in lieu of taxes to municipal units of the provincial government in this provinces and anomaly. I believe in all other provinces, those provincial ministries are reimbursing at the municipal level the full cost of payments in lieu.
Is the RCMP barracks a federal building? Does that count? Is that one of the exempt ones?
No, that is, I think, the only federal property we have in town. For us. I believe that's the only one. The
Yeah.
post office is actually a rental property.
Yeah.
So that doesn't fit the definition, but I believe the RCMP is the only one, and yes, we will receive
100%.
our full allocation.
Councillor Ishishin?
Yeah, I was just gonna make the comment actually, or just make a comment, that, yeah, so this is just common, that's just common business throughout the province. I guess it's my comment, it's unbelievable actually, because it's, yeah, like you said, the federal, that was part of, you answered part of my question, because I was gonna ask about some of the federal properties and buildings, but.
Yeah, and the same thing goes with some of the social housing that, we're not receiving taxes on that either, so. There's a lot of properties that we don't get much taxes on, but they still expect services to those buildings and properties. Councillor Martin, so.
If I could, outlined in my report, and I imagine the mayor's gonna mention that we attended the RMA convention, and the county had a fairly nice briefing note dealing with social housing. And it basically said the town of High Prairie compared to other communities has a much higher ratio of social housing compared to other communities, and it just goes to, impact that on the social housing portfolio. We're also losing significantly more money than the 62,000 by not paying enough. And again, this is all part of the provincial downloading as they do their budgets on an annual basis. They confirmed for 224, they're still gonna pay 50%, but, we're really at the limit of the province in terms of them making their policy decisions. So it is problematic for a lot of communities. More so for High Prairie, given the ratio of social housing compared to the balance of the housing stock.
Councilor Martins?
Yeah, just quickly, I know you mentioned a provincial building, Jack, what was the third one that's provincial here? Oh, that's it.
Sorry, did you have your hands up, Councilor Dunn? I see you shut your camera off. Are you able to speak now? Oh, you're back. And then froze.
Yeah, blame me.
Yeah.
Froze. Yeah. I'm wondering if I should just turn my camera off and see it.
Sure, and then, when we ask for a vote, maybe just speak up versus raising your hand, and then, yeah, because you are freezing up quite a bit. Did you have a question or a comment regarding this topic?
I did, yeah. Just wondering, like, do you have an explanation why, or this is what I'm paying and that's it?
Okay, through the mayor, the explanation was they believed in their budget that this was an appropriate thing to do in their budgetary discussions. So they gave notice to municipalities 2 years ago that they would be phasing it 25%, 25%. And that was the extent of the explanation. More problematic is in future years, they've confirmed that they're going to maintain the 50% contribution rate. But as everyone is aware, some communities' assessments are going up. They've also confirmed that the total budget for GPOT provincial-wide will be maintained at $30 million, which implies there'll be erosion of that. They can't achieve the 50% based on the updated assessments. So there will be, again, a redistribution between municipalities, and there will be some winners and losers based on their relative change in assessments. So, that's the bad news.
Did you have anything else, Councilor Dunn? All right. No other comments on this. We had the motion to write off those, outstanding balances. All in favor? Carry. We'll move.
I voted against that.
Yeah, me too, I'm on the team.
You can't change it once you made it.
Yeah.
If I could just provide council information, the province has made it clear that if municipalities don't like it, your grants and other MSI funding and all that will just be reduced to, so if it's a negative vote, there's consequences. So,
Doesn't matter, they can't work, they're listening to picking up for what's right.
Okay, well, that motion did pass. We can keep lobbying and, pushing to get it, but,
This is Alberta municipalities.
Yeah.
Motion, I think, that we should work on for next year and start now perhaps to get it onto the floor for a vote.
Yeah.
Don't let me word it though, because I will use different adjectives that are politically correct.
well, that's an idea, because we've got quite a bit of time to get it done, but we can
Yeah.
keep that on the radar for a motion to say, hey, we should get this money back.
I'll make that motion during my report.
Okay. All right, so moving on to item 8.2, which, account adjustments. Can I get a motion on this one? Councillor Waco.
I'll move the council receive this report for information.
All right. So with that, we can sort of open it up for any discussions. Councillor Danaka.
So what you're paraphrasing in the discussion is you're basically referring to unpaid taxes, or are you referring to unpaid cost of fire attending? Like I'm kind of confused as to what you're trying to tell us.
So this is a generic RFD dealing with the policy consideration. There is a scheduled deputation tonight with the ratepayer asking for relief related to an insurance issue and a fire billing issue. So this was to provide council some context of how council's dealt with it in the past and the like. So the general principle is council should, if you're going to do anything for one ratepayer, it should be equitable for all ratepayers.
Right.
It's been the practice of this council, to my knowledge, not to write off or forgive, reduce the principal balance of any billings. Penalties and the like, that's a different subject, because when the homeowners or ratepayers are dealing with insurance companies, sometimes it's a not proactive, but a prolonged period of time before the insurer actually responds to the individuals. At the same time, the town may be starting the penalty clock, and is that fair to the ratepayer if they're actively trying to, seek settlement and pay the bill the town is issued? In the case of the potential delegation, I'm not too sure what the basis of their request is, so that wasn't provided. But if they were here, the message is we issue in terms of protected services, that's fire billings and bylaw billing of $150 a year. So again, if you're going to do equitable treatment, take that into consideration. So basically I'm saying, on one or more occasions over the last dozen years, there may have been relief provided related to penalties. Likewise, the legislation does provide authority to the CEO to enter tax deferment agreements, and if a tax deferment agreement is entered into by the municipality and the ratepayer, the penalty clock stops right away. And agreements generally are written up in a way that if the individual defaults, then that deferment agreement is off the table and penalties then kick back in. So there's lots of policy room for council to provide direction. Administration is recommending not to provide relief and reduce the bill artificially from what's been billed. Specifically in the case of insurance, where it's really, the onus is on the landowner to provide and buy whatever they think is adequate insurance. So if you wish to insure with the town, cover your risk, I would suggest not. Being the chief were discussing earlier that recently, in the last few months, he's actually provided explanations in his newsletter of what would be appropriate coverage for fire insurance and help providing guidance to our ratepayers. So there's lots of information out there. My understanding in this case, the homeowner was just not insured, period, for that type of liability. So obviously, does the town want to be refunded of default for these issues or not? And I would suggest that, given that council has a rates and fee bylaw, there is no mechanism to provide relief per se, unless there's some really extraordinary circumstances. But they're going to be few and far between that fit that category.
Thank you.
Okay, any other comments on this one? Are we happy with the policy, the way it's worded? And following it that way? Good, we don't see any. All right, so with that, we have the motion received for information. All in favor? Thank you, John. And so moving on then to our CAO's report. Can I get a motion on this one? Thank you. So with that, I'll turn it over to the CAO.
Again, through the chair, bunch of similar activities that occur pretty well every week. Budget prep, attending the fall RMA conference, there's some interesting discussions there. Lots of resolutions passed by RMA, most of them were passed, a few didn't make the cut, but that's always interesting the way that works. Again, there was specific motions, resolutions dealing with funding specifically for GPOD and social housing and the like, so those resolutions were there, will likely continue to be there. Just reminding everyone, their virtual meeting with the Minister of Environment and Protective Services will be on November 21st. If you wish to attend in this room, that's great. If you, I'll be sending out the link anyways, once that link's established, if you want to attend virtually from another site, but all council members are welcome to do it from here. I've provided the briefing note to their staff, if they always like to have a briefing note ahead of time. So staff does have a copy of the briefing note. So as one of the questions was asked, the 3 intermunicipal budget meetings, the library, we have not received the library budget yet, so we can't schedule a meeting, and then the other 2 budgets, the rec budget and the fire budget. Fire budget is, the chief is just finalizing it, and we've been corresponding with the county, but we'll be scheduling a meeting by the end of this week, or at least trying to set up dates, so we'll be contacting the reps on the committee to see their availability, similar with the rec budget. The current truck drill, good news is it's being decommissioned, and the new system will be fully operational. So the decommissioning is happening on December 14th. The new system, again, is no cash, no rolling coins, all that, so it's debit or credit. And our financial coordinator, is working with the interface to make sure that system talks to our financial system and the like, so. Another good news story is town has issued a community support letter under the Alberta Rural Entrepreneurial Stream, and that business case provided by the applicant and the endorsement level now been sent to the province, and there'll be a review process by the province to evaluate that business case, and it's either approved or not approved, and basically that allows people to fast track immigration into Alberta by either opening a new business or acquiring an existing business. In this case, it's acquiring an existing stream of business within the town. So that's good news. Again, this individual's in the trade-related field, and he's reached out to colleges already to try to get an internship program for youth in the community to enter that trade and grow his business within town. The mayor's met the individual, very nice gentleman, family guy, can bring 4 kids into the community, the whole deal. So it's all good news there. So it's a wait and see game, but the province has a scoring matrix, and hopefully he makes the cut on that scoring matrix. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. And so we'll open it up for any questions. Go ahead, Councilor Stenhouse.
So I see you attended the RMA. That was approved by a motion by council.
it doesn't need a motion of council.
So when did, CAO start attending RMA conferences?
Perhaps the mayor can speak to this, but it's my understanding that's been a constant theme where RMA, both the CAO and the member of council are invited to the conference. And that's been going on since I've been employed with the municipality. And I believe it's been going on for an extended period of time.
It's not new.
No,
So RMA
it's been an ongoing invite. Not all of the time does the CAO attend, but several times they have.
So I was hoping for because that's a big ticket, expense. I was hoping for a better, report on that. You just attended resolutions, were there any training classes?
I'd be more than pleased to provide a written report to the next council meeting.
That would be great. Thank you.
Councillor Delecta?
Just a question on the new skill station that's going to be going, are they still using, they have to come to the town office and get their fob topped up, or is it just their debit card and or the credit card that they can use?
Just to have it credit.
Okay. Good.
All right, I have a couple of questions. Just, I know that they're working on and have fiber run to most of the buildings, and just wonder if there's any more concrete dates yet. We sort of talked about a little bit before the meeting, but just maybe an update.
So two facilities have been connected. Again, I provided Canadian Fiber with a list of priority sites. For whatever reason, they haven't been following that, so I'll be following up with them this week. Again, the commitment is they will expedite the town sites, but I'll be looking for a better timeline as it relates to.
Well, I was just asking, because obviously to put that system in at the water treatment plant, they're gonna have to have good internet connection to make that work. So, and I know the office here is in dire needs of getting, as it referenced by our struggling to get good connectivity here tonight, so those would be some high priority ones. Which ones have been connected?
I believe the water plant's be done this week, and the gas shop has been completed.
Okay, and just, I know that 52nd Avenue seems to be complete. Is there any updates on that?
Complete, again, through the chair, complete, there's various definitions of complete. So there was a site meeting on Friday, there's a list of deficiencies that have been provided to the contractor. And obviously, they won't be complete to the deficiency list of definitions.
All right, thank you for that. Councilor Martins?
So I know this is planning for the new year, but I'm kind of planning that first month in January, and I'm wondering two things. The new year hold, did we decide when our first meeting is January?
There's nothing that's on the action list that I have to report back on proposed meetings. Haven't done that yet, but there is an existing motion of council saying the meetings will occur in January. I can't remember, but there is a current motion on the books related to scheduling those committee meetings, those 4 times a year in January, April, and excuse me, I forget the other 2 months. So I'll be following that and recommending some dates. If I could go on, that motion also recommends, so the existing motion of council is they occur the second Tuesday of each of those months, the second Saturday of each of those months. So that's the current resolution of council. To the committee of the whole. So I'd be coming back with dates based on the existing resolution of council.
And our first council meeting in January is January 9th, right, if that's second Tuesday, if that stays the same.
Right. So for process in January. The current motion of council would be the second Saturday of January would be the committee vote. But council can amend that if they wish. So there'll be an RFP at the next council meeting with, based on that premise of the second Saturday of each of those months.
Okay, perfect. Anything else? No? Anything, John, that you have questions on?
No, I don't have any questions.
All right, so we have a motion to receive the report for information. All in favor? Carried. All right, well, we've got moving on to notice of upcoming meetings. I was seldom, but we do have the meeting for our budget meeting on the, yeah, I think it was on Thursday, right? Or not this Thursday, but the next Thursday.
November 30th is the first.
Oh, it's November 30th, sorry. Yeah, and then December 9th. Yeah, thank you. All right. And so moving on then to our council reports. Councilor Danaka.
Only had one meeting since we last met, and that was the FRAC meeting. Basically, we had Patty Cancel give an update from the Slave Lake Bird Observatory regarding migration. So basically, there's not much different than what I had spoke about the last FRAC meeting about what species they found and stuff. And from April to October, they had 3,585 visitors. They offer 73 programs to 1,350 students attended. They also have 91 outreach programs that had 3,000 participants. As well, there was an update from the Fire Center and Forestry Health. Basically, as we all know, this is the most extreme fire season on record. They are still hiring woodland firefighters. This year, there was 147 fires in the Slave Lake District. Update from Lesser Slave Lake Watershed. Basically, Megan just reiterating the water quality monitoring program that they do and the 17 monitoring sites. And lastly was an update on the winter plans from the forestry. They're still accessing and assessing the damage that is done and has been done in the in their forest districts in regards to the fires that we've had. So there really wasn't much that they could say in terms of what their winter logging will entail. They did discuss some stuff regarding salvage and burnt wood, but they're still working with the government in terms of stumpage costs and all the rest of that stuff. So that was my only meeting, and I moved my report for information.
Councilor Simmons.
Donna, I'm not good with these acronyms. Who is FRAC?
FRAC is the Forestry Resource Advisory Committee. Basically, it encompasses total and restoration.
All right, anything else? Sorry, Councilor Danaka, did you move your report?
I did.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Carried. Moving on to Councilor Dunn.
So I attended, Southern Resource Council, on first week free and. Well, maybe they get something, or I'll go to, yeah. So there's giftings happening quite a few for, Christmas season. And, yeah, I really, verbal report for information.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments for Councillor Dunn? See a lot of head shaking. All in favor? Carried. Councillor Martins?
Just a couple of things, when I did attend the, very lovely and somber Remembrance Day service, at the Legion this past 11. And it was actually, our MLA was there, and were there, and, the mayor, our new lead for the county, so it was, good. I saw some members that I hadn't, or some, people in the community that was just it's a good little meetup, of sorts. The hockey game, of course, at night, with our first responders, and really an official thank you to all of our businesses that helped sponsor that event. And the last thing was the, High Prairie, Friendship Center had their AGM November 10th. So I attended, however, due to lack of quorum, it didn't actually happen. It was a good meet and greet. And it's rescheduled for this week if anyone's available to attend that AGM on the Thursday. That's it, no official names for any of my committees, so I will move that report for information.
Any questions, comments for Councillor Martins? Go ahead, Councillor Wakefield.
What time is that, PGI?
Good question, it's either 5 or 6 p.m.
And that's at Friendship
At
Center?
the Friendship Center, yeah.
Okay, I'll pick that up on my
I think
radio.
it's 6. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
I think it's 6, and yeah, and I know they kind of made mention of the 7:30 Red Wings game, but they forgot the first responders game at the event. I almost wanted to go up and say to the guy, but didn't. Anyway, I thought it would be more attended than that. It was just funding.
Okay, so Thursday, 1800 hours,
Correct,
okay, at Friendship Center.
correct.
Okay. I'll make mention of that.
Okay, anything else? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All right, for my report, as was mentioned, we had the Remembrance Day ceremony, which was very well attended. It was great to see so many people out and the wonderful big flags. And I know they also gave thanks to the town and all that can do that for, well, the chief was there, but thanks directly, but also for being there and setting up the flag, but also to Public Works and Mike for making sure the parking lot was cleared and ready to go. So that was appreciated. Did attend RMA, which was good. In a lot of ways, there was trade show was good. Please grab some information that I'd like to bring back to the council sometime. Sometimes we like to get, I think we need some memorials for our cemetery for the, forget what they call them, but columbariums, I believe. And maybe an expense that we should put in so that people have a place to put.
Yeah, it's just like a,
The
okay.
ashes and maybe even a marker plate if they wanted to do that, because I know it's something that we don't have in our community, and it's something that was at the trade show that I really thought was interesting, that could be useful for our residents. And we did go around and talk to some other of the vendors there, RCO and things like trying to get better deals on our phone packages and stuff like that. There was some companies there, so some of that was really good. We did go and attend the meeting with the RCMP and pushed again for the dog handler position to come in. They're still saying they're working on it. So we need to keep pushing on that. I think it's the end of the day, they're very aware that we want to hear having two out of those three is pretty good.
Not when you're the third one.
Not when you're the third one and we're in the highest rating and we sort of got that. Anyways, we need to keep pushing on it. That's, doesn't change. There was an interesting, session on dissolution that, attended and just, because there's a lot of these smaller hamlets mostly that are getting dissolved and being absorbed into the various counties or MDs. And they, being RMA, they were talking about the extra costs that were being absorbed and having to be absorbed by these counties and some of the issues that they've been facing when they've been adopting these communities that are dissolving, these smaller communities. So it was interesting to hear all of the issues and wow, you know, it's a big deal and they're lobbying and they did a whole study on these and they came up with a whole bunch of recommendations that they're putting forward to the province for future dissolutions, whether the province wants some or not. But we just talked about the study that they're doing. Upcoming meetings, there's, that's the Northern Alberta elected leaders meeting coming up on Friday, or housing on Thursday. Of course, we've got the ministers meeting coming up also. We got lots of meetings coming up, but we also, I can report that we are finally successful, and thanks to Shanda and our new IT providers, we were able to get the CAO evaluation out to everybody, and it did seem to bounce back. So I think everybody got them, which is good. Closed it up on the 10th, so I have all of the results, and we'll need to schedule a meeting to review that with our CAO. And I know we have a December 9th meeting. Just the thought that maybe we take an hour and do it on that day. I don't know, because we've got the budget discussions, but if you guys want to do that or not, but that was my thinking, is to do a review on that time. But open to other suggestions on that. So with that, I will move my report for information.
Could I just, add a couple items that the mayor was remiss in mentioning? So, Mayor basically covered out what I'd be covering in my report, but in addition to that, we had discussions with numerous ministers, including our local MLA, Minister of Municipal Affairs, and other provincial senior administrative staff, if I could put it that way. So if council still wishes to provide a written report, I'd be pleased to do, but that basically parallels the activities that I attended with the mayor. We had some good discussions with Scott Sinclair, our local MLA, and we also had some good discussions with other ministers during the various other 3 times. On the first item the mayor mentioned in regards to the cemetery, staff will actually be doing an item for it as part of the capital budget. So that will be before council as part of the capital budget deliberations. I just thought I'd throw that in.
So if council still wishes to provide a written report, the motion would be appropriate.
Okay. If we can talk a little bit and make a motion on it. So we can do that now. Wish for a written report, or is the verbal report good enough? And yeah, thanks for bringing that up with the ministers. I didn't really mention that, but it was a lot of informal conversations, not necessarily formal ones that were done outside of the formal meetings. But lots of good discussions with them and informal. So it was good in that way, trying to make some connections and get them to know some of them. Ten House, is that good for a report for you, or do you need more, or just?
Probably, I would like a written report, it goes on record, and we can refer back to, like, the ministers that were talked to and what was discussed.
But we didn't do written reports on any of the other ones, so what would we have on what, or did we, there was nothing formal running when we went to Alberta municipalities?
Yeah, well, because this is a big ticket, item, like these conventions are big for the municipality. And to have a record of it would be good. This is public funds that are paid by the taxpayers. Did they get their money's worth for us attending these conferences?
Okay, no, I understand what you're saying, but we haven't done it for any of the other ones in the past. Why are we starting now? That would be my comment is, did the rest of the council do what when they went to Alberta municipalities? Big ticket item?
Yeah.
They did a written report?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For clarification, one member of council provided a written report, which was predominantly the copy of the agenda for the conference.
Oh, okay, I don't remember seeing it, that's all I just, but, that was while I was away, so maybe I missed the.
Yeah, you
the part of it. It was a formal written report by one councillor. So should we all be doing one or not? And that's-
It's a request, it's a request, it's
Yeah.
not.
Other thoughts on it? Councillor Martin?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Councillor Stenhouse is requesting the CAO present report, not every council member that attends. And I think she means that that's staff, right? It's staff time, and we all did present a report from the attendance. I mean, I had pages of notes, and I forgot to actually include my whole thing, but, that aside, I would love to hear about the MLA, especially our local body, what some of those conversations and dialogues had and what the outcomes for, because then we can hold them to account. Hey, at the RMA, our CAO and mayor spoke about this, and we brought forward these matters, and to this day, 5 months later, they're not using some of the things that were promised or talked about. Especially with the MLA and some of the ministers, yeah, I'd love to see, and with the block, I'm assuming you met with him at the RCMP meet and greet. I'd love to know those, and perhaps the CAO tell us something different than your dissolution and workshop, and I find there's always key outcomes that come from it. So I wouldn't mind. I don't think I put these together before and not be and it keeps us on track.
Okay, other thoughts? All right, well, we've got my motion already on the table, so we can do that, and then we can deal with a separate motion after, but in terms of my report, is there any other questions specifically from Councillor Danaka?
When you met with the RCMP, is the dog handler position still on the table?
Yes, according to them, yes.
Okay. Now, a couple times you had, when you talked to, even Staff Sergeant Wright and Staff Sergeant
Carswell?
Carswell. You or council going down to Innisfail where the dog training is to talk to these people and say, hey, come to High Prairie. Is that still a thought or a plan to do that?
I brought that up again,
Mm-hmm.
and again, they say it's a good idea, we'll keep that in mind and get in touch with you, but they did not get in touch with us after the last time.
Right.
And the other thing that, because there was, at the RCMP meeting, they had, I don't know, 7 or 8 people on their side of the table. It was quite a crew that they had there. One of the people was sort of their communications person, and she says, we're making videos of various communities. Would you guys be interested in having a video of your community developed? I said, absolutely. And she said, well, we are working on some other ones. She would see if she could fit it in and then get something done for us that could be used as a recruitment video for our community, for RCMP regular members and dog handler positions. And I said, that'd be fantastic. And I said, we'd be a really good one to do because we do get so many new recruits that are, that get positioned here. So she did say that she would look at that and get back to us if they can fit it in. So that was a good thing.
Okay,
Councillor Stenhouse.
So is it, they don't have the personnel trained in dog handling, or they don't want to come to Hyperion? What's the problem in filling that position?
Both. Yeah, they don't have enough dog handlers, and the ones that they do seem to get trained are enough dogs and dog handlers, and when they do, they're picking other locations. So ours is supposedly still on the table, but they're just not picking it.
So are they looking to increase the intake of dog handlers and dogs? Or do they have a certain, like is it a controlled career where they only train so many and that's it?
I didn't ask that specific question, so I don't know for sure why there's a shortage. I'm not sure.
I think it's probably, I'm just speculating, but it's probably more a shortage of dogs and handlers.
It takes quite a while, obviously, to train their dogs, but why can't they do more? I don't really know.
You have to find the right dog.
Yeah.
And, I love them, but then again, it's not gonna cut it.
That's right, yeah. Councillor Danaka.
again with the RCMP. As far as I know, we still not got an answer, because I had asked when can't remember what her name was filling in, and then I had asked Tarswell regarding who's gonna be paying for the body cameras that are gonna be coming online. And I don't know if that was discussed with your RCMP meeting.
It was not.
Okay. Because I'm just curious, because I wanted to know if that was gonna be another cost to the municipality, but nobody's been able to supply us with an answer with that. So, okay, thank you.
Okay, nothing else on my report? Moved it for information, all in favor? Carried. And Councillor Stenhouse, you wanted to make a motion?
Oh. Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that our CEO provide a written report on the RMA attendance and meetings that were done there.
Okay. We discussed it a little bit in my report. Is there any other questions, comments before we vote? All in favor? Opposed? John, I didn't hear you on either.
Yeah, I did,
You can't.
You can't, you cannot abstain.
okay, so,
Are you in favor or against?
I had a question, didn't get it out. Because in my thinking, any report is recorded when we give it in session. So my thoughts are having a written report. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm not in favor.
Okay, you for that. It still passes.
So that, does that mean we're all writing a report or can we go to
No,
EMA or to, essentially?
This is a specific motion for RNA and the CAO, not for council. Okay, Councillor Stenhouse?
okay, so I did attend any meetings and I was supposed to bring this up last meeting, but I was not feeling well. I met with a couple of business owners with concerns that I said I would bring forward. One was a 2.5 hour meeting. I had received numerous emails. Their concerns about the vagrancies, the break-ins, the crime that's been going on around town. And what are we as council doing to curb some of these issues? Some of the suggestions were, we find that the information is not being put out there. If maybe the RCMP could give a better report on some of the crimes that are happening around town and the areas, we're keeping better stats of them. And then I met with the financial institution. And again, the concerns were the vagrancies, having to log financial institutions, making it inaccessible to the public. And what I've been getting from that is they're really looking for a chamber where they can get together and pool their ideas and resources. Is there any way the town council can resurrect the chamber?
Councillor Rico?
There is a chamber. Barry Shakawa is the president. So that's where they should start. You're not wrong. I mean, a strong chamber would be great, and it would probably go a long ways toward solving a lot of different issues in town. But, you know, Mr. Shakawa has appeared before council on more than one occasion, indicated, and at various meetings, and indicated that he is the president of the Chamber of Commerce. So I would point them towards Barry and find out when the chamber holds their meetings.
Because these are reoccurring, they are the same issues that these businesses and institutions are having. And, you know, we've got just the general public out patrolling our streets, keeping them safe. They need a place, their suggestion was, where could they get to meet to pool their ideas, and how can we all come together as council with the public, the businesses, and try and fix some of these issues. So that, yeah, I admit there, and I am just continuing to work on getting reimbursed for my expenses occurred during the AUMA conference. I moved my verbal report for information.
All right, questions or comments for Councillor Stenhouse? Go ahead.
Can I ask what issues you're having in getting reimbursed? Like usually it's not an issue.
Apparently, yes, it is an issue. I submitted so with my job, this always happens. Come time to get time off, I can't get it off, and I had a feeling this would occur. Anyways, I was at work and there was no replacement. I contacted registration from AUMA and asked if there'd be a refund because I couldn't make it, and they said no, the municipality would still be charged $500. So I abandoned my job, went to the AUMA. It was at the very last minute. I booked my own accommodations, and as you know, I was taking a cab and submitted my receipts, and I'm being denied my full compensation.
Okay, thanks for the explanation, but that's an administrative
It's
issue
an
that I
administrative issue, that's to say the least. In terms of receipts, there's been no receipt provided to me just for council's information.
All right, so anything else for Councillor Stenhouse? We can, I mean, that's something you can work out with administration on that one. Okay. Anything else? Seeing none, all in favor? All right, Councillor Waco.
No real formal meetings, or I missed my library board meeting, I was sick, but, you should be getting the library board budget right away. Administration there. Also went to the Remembrance Day service. I believe that is the first time I've seen the MLA and the MP both there at the same time. There's usually one of them there, but not often has there ever been both of them there. So that was pretty good. Got to have a quick word with both of them. Also talking to a lot of people. A lot of people are wondering about a homeless shelter in town. Like Slave Lake just opened theirs up. I'm wondering if this is something FCSS can look into. That's like, because they do the social part of things. Maybe they can take the lead on it, find out some information, bring that back to the town. And see, because if CSS can access money we can't, we can access money that they can't. It's not an endeavor that the town can take on its own. We don't have a magic money wand we can wave, we're not the federal government. But I would like to see FCSS maybe take at least a look at what they did in Slave Lake and some other communities to see if that's something that can be duplicated here. I've talked to some of these guys that are on the street. They don't want to be there. And this was sort of the underlying theme of the sessions, some of the sessions that I attended at the Alberta Municipalities Conference was nobody wants to live on the street. But, poop happens and that's where they end up. And they need a hand up, not a handout necessarily, but a hand up, something to help them get up off their feet, get up off the ground and, get those first couple steps underneath them. And, so I'd like to see FCSS take a lead on that, at least preliminarily, and see if it's something that can be done. Do I need a motion for that, or can we? Yeah, go ahead.
Councillor Stenhouse?
So I am on the FCSS
Yes.
committee, so I will bring it forward. I do know that, it's the same as anything else, there's so many things they can do and so
Yeah.
many things that they can't.
Yeah.
But I will bring it forward and get we'll do some brainstorming and
Yeah.
get back to you on that.
Yeah, see what we can do. When's your
Yeah.
next FCSS meeting?
Yeah, it's
Later.
It is gonna be soon, it's
Okay.
going to be soon, it was rescheduled, so, why don't you just leave it with us, and we'll take it to the committee and see what we can do, and then.
Excellent. And the other thing is I would like to make a motion as well that the grant draft up a motion for next year's Alberta Municipality Convention to compel the provincial government to pay their taxes, be it as taxes or through the grants in lieu of, and not be clawing it back in other areas. And I get it, right? Because they said, I don't know. But I don't think we're the only community that's pissed off about this. I think that this is a motion that can gain some traction. And if we can get the membership as a whole, we can scream until we're blue in the face. This is why we're part of organizations like the Border Municipalities, the FCM, other ones. Because if we're all screaming at the same time, they at least have to listen and maybe give a better reason than tough, deal with it.
Okay, well, we've got.
So I'll have my, you'll take it to FCSS, so we're not worried about that one. So I'll start off by moving my report for information.
So we'll start with that one. Any questions or comments for Councillor Waco? Seeing none, all in favor? All right.
Thanks, John. I'll make a second motion that administration craft a resolution for the 2024 Alberta Municipalities Convention, asking the provincial government to restore the full amount of the grants in lieu of taxes with no clawback in other areas. We need to be a little specific about
You got that, Chan? I think everybody's got the idea. Any comments?
that. Make me sound smart.
Questions on that?
I think we should be doing that year round, every time we get a chance to not just wait till the convention. I think we should be pushing it year round.
Well, bring it to our MLA's attention when we finally get around to having them at a meeting. And yeah, every time we meet with, a minister or MLA, premier, anybody, say that you can't keep dumping more on us to do and taking away our funding. That it's a recipe for disaster. Edmonton, Calgary, Lethbridge, Medicine, Red Deer, places like that, they'll be able to survive because they've got the massive tax base to deal with it. Fine. This is High Prairie, or Slave Lake, or Peace River, or Falher, or any of these other smaller communities. Eventually, we're all going to be part of this dissolution study that you attended. So.
Okay. Just not totally related to that, but I could add one thing when Minister MacIver was speaking, did indicate that the new LGFF framework would likely be announced by the end of the month. He did preface everything to say that, he was willing to adopt what Alberta municipalities and RMA developed if they could agree on a formula. And we know that they did not agree on a formula. So he says now we're the ones that have to, sort of pick the formula.
They have to make a decision. Oh, God.
And if, he said, if I pick a formula that makes, one organization or the other organization happy, then probably haven't got it right. So he says, I'm hoping I picked a formula that's going to make everybody unhappy, and I'll know I got it right. So that was just his comment on it all, but that was kind of, he said they won't be making everybody happy. He knows that he can't do that, but he said maybe if I get everybody equally unhappy, then I've hit the sweet spot.
The Mayor, is that you're never gonna make, it's impossible to make everybody happy. It is possible to piss everybody off. But if you can come to an agreement that everybody can live with, that's the success. That's what you aim for. You can't make everybody happy, but make it so everybody can live with it.
All right, that was a little bit of a sidebar, but it was related a little bit to the funding and everything else, so I didn't. But you guys probably heard that at AM anyway, so I'm sure he made the same announcement there. Anything else on Councillor Wakel's motion? All right, seeing none, all in favor? All right. Councillor Shishin.
Didn't have any meetings, to attend since our last meeting, but I just wanted to, just give a shout out to, and a congratulations to the new businesses that are in our community. To Lynette Tisauer, Chip K9 Training, Michelle Strubchuk with Rapid Relief, Shakobi Talco, I might have that wrong, Pony Express, and I guess welcome back to Pincushion Boutique, Jen Woodcroft. So just a congratulations on the new businesses, and it's great to see you in town. And I apologize if I missed anyone. I may have, because there's been a few, so just great to see. Yeah, I sincerely apologize if I did, and if I know them, I will.
All right. Do you want to move your report?
My report.
Any questions or comments? All in favor? And there is no confidential or closed session items, so therefore meeting is adjourned.